7 foods you should never store in the fridge. They can cause cancer. Senior health tips. Most people believe the refrigerator is the safest place for almost every food. But after 60, one common storage habit can quietly increase long-term health risks. Some foods, when stored in the fridge, don't just lose nutrients. They can form unwanted compounds over time. And your aging body is far less efficient at clearing these substances than it once was. This doesn't mean these foods are dangerous by nature. It means storing them the wrong way can slowly work against your health. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 everyday foods that should never be kept in the fridge, especially for seniors. You'll learn why cold temperatures can trigger harmful changes inside certain foods. You'll also learn how simple storage adjustments can reduce long-term inflammation and toxic exposure. And most importantly, you'll discover how to protect your health without fear or extreme rules. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today and how old are you this year? One quick question. Do you usually put almost everything straight into the fridge? With that perspective in mind, let's take a closer look at the everyday foods that are better kept out of the refrigerator. Number 7. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are often placed in the fridge to keep them fresh longer, but cold temperatures actually damage their internal cell structure. When refrigerated, tomatoes lose important antioxidants like lycopene, which plays a role in protecting cells from long-term oxidative stress. Cold storage also stops the natural ripening process, causing chemical changes that reduce both flavor and nutritional quality. As the tomato tissue breaks down, it becomes more vulnerable to microbial growth once removed from the fridge. For seniors, digestion is more sensitive, making altered food structures harder for the body to process comfortably. Repeated exposure to low-quality, degraded foods can quietly increase inflammatory burden over time. This doesn't mean tomatoes are unhealthy, but storing them incorrectly reduces their protective benefits. Room temperature storage allows tomatoes to maintain stable antioxidants and safer natural enzymes. Keeping tomatoes out of the fridge also prevents moisture buildup that encourages spoilage and hidden mold growth. For better health after 60, tomatoes should be stored in a cool, dry place and eaten while naturally ripe. Number 6. Garlic. Many people refrigerate garlic to make it last longer, but cold and moisture actually create conditions that encourage spoilage and mold growth. When garlic is stored in the fridge, condensation can form on the cloves, increasing the risk of fungal contamination over time. Certain molds can produce mycotoxins, which place extra detox stress on the liver and kidneys, especially in older adults. Refrigeration also causes garlic to sprout faster, changing its chemical composition and reducing beneficial sulfur compounds. These sulfur compounds are what give garlic its natural protective and antimicrobial properties. Once altered by cold storage, garlic may lose potency while becoming harder to digest for sensitive stomachs. For seniors, repeated exposure to degraded foods can quietly increase inflammation and digestive discomfort. This does not mean garlic is harmful, only that improper storage undermines its health benefits. Garlic stays safest when stored in a dry, well-ventilated place away from direct light. Proper storage preserves garlic's protective qualities while reducing unnecessary exposure to harmful byproducts. Number 5. Onions. Storing onions in the refrigerator may seem practical, but cold temperatures actually soften their structure and increase moisture retention inside the layers. This excess moisture creates an environment where bacteria and mold can grow more easily, even when onions appear fine on the outside. Refrigeration also converts onion starches into sugars, changing both taste and how the body processes them during digestion. For seniors, altered digestion can lead to bloating, discomfort, and increased inflammatory responses. Once removed from the fridge, onions spoil faster, raising the risk of consuming partially degraded food without noticing. Mold growth on onions is not always visible and may produce compounds that stress detox organs over time. Older adults are more vulnerable to these hidden risks because toxin clearance slows with age. Onions naturally store best in cool, dry, well-ventilated spaces rather than cold, enclosed environments. Keeping onions out of the fridge preserves their natural enzymes and antimicrobial properties. Proper storage helps onions remain both safer to eat and more beneficial for long-term health after 60. Number 4. Bread. Many people store bread in the refrigerator to prevent mold, but cold temperatures actually change the structure of bread starches. Refrigeration accelerates starch retrogradation, making bread dry, hard, and less digestible over time. When this altered bread is toasted or reheated, it can form higher levels of advanced glycation end products, known as ages. Ages are linked to chronic inflammation, which places extra strain on aging organs and tissues. For seniors, repeated exposure to high-age foods may worsen joint stiffness, vascular stress, and metabolic imbalance. Cold storage also encourages uneven moisture distribution, which can still allow hidden mold growth in some areas. Mold toxins may not always be visible, but can contribute to long-term toxin exposure if consumed repeatedly. Bread is safest when stored at room temperature for short periods or frozen properly for longer storage. Freezing pauses spoilage without triggering the chemical changes caused by refrigeration. Choosing the right storage method helps reduce unnecessary inflammatory and toxic load after 60. Number 3. Potatoes. Refrigerating potatoes triggers a process where starch converts into sugar, subtly changing their chemistry long before any visible spoilage appears. When these cold-stored potatoes are later baked, fried, or roasted, higher sugar levels can promote the formation of acrylamide. Acrylamide is a compound associated with increased long-term health risk when consumed repeatedly over time. Older adults are more sensitive to cumulative exposure because detox pathways work more slowly with age. This risk is not about eating potatoes, but about storing and cooking them incorrectly. Cold storage also alters texture, making potatoes cook unevenly and encouraging overcooking at high temperatures. High heat cooking further increases unwanted compounds, especially in processed or reheated potato dishes. Potatoes naturally store best in a cool, dark, dry place, not the refrigerator. Proper storage keeps starch stable and reduces the likelihood of harmful byproduct formation during cooking. For seniors, avoiding refrigerated potatoes is one simple step that lowers unnecessary chemical exposure over time. Number 2. Bananas. Many people place bananas in the refrigerator to slow ripening, but cold temperatures actually disrupt their natural enzyme activity. Refrigeration causes banana skins to darken quickly, while the fruit inside undergoes uneven chemical breakdown. This breakdown can increase oxidative byproducts that make bananas harder to digest, especially for sensitive older stomachs. Cold storage also interferes with potassium balance and natural sugars that the body normally processes smoothly. For seniors, altered digestion can contribute to bloating, discomfort, and unstable blood sugar responses. Once refrigerated, bananas continue degrading even after being brought back to room temperature. This makes it easier to consume fruit that looks acceptable, but has reduced nutritional quality. Bananas are best stored at room temperature, away from direct sunlight, until fully ripe. Proper storage preserves enzymes that support digestion and nutrient absorption. Keeping bananas out of the fridge helps maintain their natural benefits without adding unnecessary digestive stress after 60. Number 1. Chili peppers, bell peppers. Storing chili peppers or bell peppers in the refrigerator often traps moisture, creating ideal conditions for hidden mold growth beneath the skin. Cold, humid environments break down pepper cell walls, making them more vulnerable to fungal contamination, even when no visible spoilage appears. Some molds can produce mycotoxins, compounds that place long-term detox stress on aging livers and kidneys. Older adults are more sensitive to these toxins because clearance pathways slow with age. Refrigeration also reduces vitamin C and antioxidant stability, weakening the pepper's natural protective benefits. Once removed from the fridge, peppers spoil faster, increasing the chance of consuming degraded produce unknowingly. Spicy peppers may also become more irritating to the digestive tract after cold-induced tissue breakdown. Peppers store best in a cool, dry, well-ventilated place, or briefly at room temperature before use. If refrigeration is necessary, peppers should be kept dry, loosely wrapped, and used quickly. Choosing proper storage reduces unnecessary toxin exposure and preserves the nutritional value of peppers after 60. Over the years, I've noticed that many health risks don't come from what we eat, but from habits we repeat without questioning. Food storage is one of those quiet routines that feels harmless, yet affects the body slowly over time. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to small changes in food quality and hidden toxins. Making simple adjustments now is not about restriction, but about reducing unnecessary strain on organs that already work hard every day. With that awareness, let's bring everything together and close with guidance meant to protect your health gently for the years ahead. Food itself is rarely the problem. The way we store it often makes the difference. After 60, your body becomes less forgiving of small, repeated exposures that once went unnoticed. Refrigeration is helpful, but it is not always the safest choice for every food. When foods are stored incorrectly, they can slowly lose protective nutrients and form unwanted byproducts. These changes may seem minor, but over years, they add unnecessary stress to the body. Simple storage habits can quietly reduce long-term inflammation and toxic burden. Protecting your health does not require extreme rules or fear-based decisions. It requires awareness, consistency, and respect for how aging bodies process food. By storing foods correctly, you preserve their natural benefits instead of working against them. Small daily choices, repeated over time, shape long-term health more than dramatic changes. If one of these foods surprised you, share this information with someone you care about. Let me know in the comments which food you've been storing in the fridge without realizing the risk. If you haven't already, subscribe for calm, doctor-guided tips you can trust. Together, we focus on prevention, clarity, and healthy aging without unnecessary fear. And until the next video, may your food stay fresh, your choices stay informed, and your health stay well protected.